Well, for heaven's sake, mask fans and monster lovers, drop whatever you're doing. Go ahead, drop it. That's right, drop it right now. Because it's time for Creepy Cheapies with Dr. Lady. I am Wiz Khalifa. And wow, this is a great one. This is a great mask. It's been in production for a number of years now. I hope it still will be by the time you watch this video broadcast and you go looking for it. But it's from Death Studios and it's called officially Chainsaw. That's right, simply Chainsaw. Now the last time I looked, this was still available on the Death Studios website at a price of $55, which may seem like a lot to some of you who are used to full over-the-head latex masks that have, you know, backs of the head, necks, and so forth. You're thinking, gee, Dr. Lady, $55 for just a face mask, really? Well, let me tell you why that's so great. And I love this thing, and I think every collection should have one, basically. If I were president, we'd have a leather face mask like this in every home. You know, a chicken in every pot, and or possibly a stray hitchhiker in every pot if he had his way. And a leather face mask called Chainsaw from Death Studios in every den. Anyway, this, as you may have figured out by my previous very subtle utterances, this is a replica of the mask worn by Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Now, Leatherface first showed up in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 1974, but the mask was a little different in the second movie, which didn't come along until 1986. And this is that 1986 version from Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, which was directed by Tobe Hooper, as was the original. Now, this was a Tom Savini creation, okay, in the film, and Leatherface was played by an actor named Bill Johnson. And the Bill Johnson Leatherface, which this is, looked just like this mask. Why is that? Because Savini provided his original mold for this mask edition, his master mold at that. I don't know if you can see, but sometimes things get molded down and movie mold pieces look a little too small. And that's kind of ruinous with Leatherface because he needs to be a big guy who looks like a big guy. So it's cool that this came from Savini's original master. And one thing that's a little different, all this is the same, okay? The proportions, the details are all the same, but by the time the mold was readied for this edition of masks, a lot of the texture was gone. The surface detail was just didn't hold up, because you got to remember, the mold for the movie wasn't made to make a bunch of masks. It was made to make a mask or two or three for use during the making of the motion picture. And therefore it was not designed with, you know, capabilities to withstand atomic warfare or that sort of thing. So by the time it got to Death Studio, the texture was gone. So what was done was a lot of this was reapplied, a lot of the very fine texture. Again, the proportions, the shapes, the overall dimensions are very, very close, very accurate. The only thing redone was some of this, the wrinkles in the texture, okay? And as you can see, he's painted various shades of yellow and light brown, as in the movie. Now the stitches holding the various pieces of skin together are molded in. Those were added to well, they were added to the one that was molded, you see, for Death Studios. Those were added and it was molded with those in, and then they're painted black. So they're not actual leather thongs like, okay? They're not like that. They're painted on. Now I heard one collector complain about that, and oh, it ruins it. Oh, come on! $55 for this great of a prop replica that's so close to you know, the look of the one in the movie, and you can get one for only $55, and it's a really excellent prop replica, as I said. And I don't think that's a deal breaker. I don't think that's a big deal that those are molded in. But if you wanted to, you could carefully punch little holes where the little holes are in the sculpture and stick an extra piece of cord through there so that it would stick out just a little bit more than this and be just slightly more prominent. Although you wouldn't want it to be too prominent, because then it would be apparent to onlookers that there were two cords You see the tight one that's sculpted in, and then you wouldn't want the, you don't want a big croquet hoop sticking out of there. No. But another thing you could do if you want to make it a little more realistic, and I don't know in the movie because I don't think we ever got a good look at the back of the mask, but since it's made of skin, chances are the back side of it wouldn't be natural latex color like this. It might be like a dark red. So you could do that. You could add some red or some fresh red, some bright red for that matter, to make the back side of it look more bloody. Seasoned to taste, I call that. But in any event, it's a great prop replica that not everybody seems to know about, and well, I think if all the collectors knew it, I think just about all of them who like slasher movies at all would like one. So Chainsaw, $55 from Death Studios last time I checked. If not, check your local mask dealer or eBay seller or meat market or butcher shop or slaughterhouse.